Welcome everybody. It's great to see you back, and hopefully we have a few new people. I am going to do today something a little bit different. I saw on another channel where she did sort of a newbie tag of questions and answered those, and I thought, gee, you know what? That sounds like a lot of fun, and I thought it would be really great to do that. Perfect timing. I think I only have a few videos out so far, so we'll try and do that today. So with all that in mind, I hope you stick around, and I will see you on the other side. Really great to see you back, and hopefully this is going to be a lot of fun. The questions that I have that were answered by Ricky Reeds, which was where I saw this. She's brand new to BookTube, and so am I. And I thought, what a great idea. Now, I have not pre-looked at these questions, so it is literally just going to be me off the cuff giving you an answer to them. But what I thought would be really fun would be to give you a bit of a tour of where I shoot and what it looks like in this area. And yeah, so lots of fun. I'm going to use my other iPhone. We're just going to bring that up, and I will go over everything with you. Okay, so I'm going to take off my mic for this because it will record it, but I'm going to dump that footage, obviously. But we're just going to pop it down right here. Okay, so what you're seeing right now is from where I sit, my iPhone, brand new iPhone 16 Pro, which is taking the most of the initial video for this. To the left of it is my additional lighting source. Oops, don't want to do that. My additional lighting source, which is lighting that I used when I was a photographer, so that comes in handy. And then if we go in really close, you can see the microphone system. It is a Hollyland Lark M1 system. It comes with 2 separate microphones, so it's actually pretty handy. Then over to my right is my reading area, and you will see that I have quite a few, I have a built-in library of sorts. And so the other half of this is my sort of reading nook area. Now I have built-in shelves, and on these shelves you'll find some of the books that I've read, particularly over on this shelf. I don't know if you can see it. I got a lot of sun coming in the window right now, so I'm just giving you a quick tour of that. And then my shooting area is right here. So it's basically just on the other side. I got my nice massive TV on my credenza over there. And then back behind it is the dining room, which I use for a workout area, and my kitchen is at the very far back. So this is basically where I sit when I'm chatting with you. Okay, so we're gonna take it over to the other camera. Okay, I'll do. All right. Oh. Okay, my apologies if we are not in the same position we were in. Just gonna put that back because I bumped the camera. So basically I started and stopped again. Hopefully it'll be okay. Anyways, this is my iPhone 4 Pro Max, which I did most of the recordings for my first couple of videos on, and I'm keeping this because it was really handy for me to do the quick tour. So, you know, for little things like that, I think I'm going to use this camera. And that's it for that. Okay, so again, I just wanted to mention, it's the new YouTuber that I followed that did this idea in the first place was Ricky Reeds, and I'm taking her questions. Basically, I've tagged them, and I'm going to go, you know, question by question and see what we can do. I'm going to try to keep this short. I'm not really good at keeping my videos short because I like to talk too much, and I don't get to talk to a lot of people, which you'll hear why. So why did I start this channel? I started it because I needed somebody to talk to. In general, overall, I do work from home. I have my own business as a photo retoucher, and I do book formatting and other things like that. So I do work very isolated, I would say. You know, I'm in front of the computer 99% of the time. And with the economy the way it was, I sold my car. I just couldn't justify paying around $650 a month with insurance included for a vehicle that I hardly ever used. But what that did was that kind of put me in a position where I have to get on the bus if I want to go anywhere, and I really hate that. But I do go out walking, go to the coffee shop in the morning, know all the wonderful people that work there, and I just need to interact. So this is my way of interacting, and it's also my way of sharing my love of books, which isn't just reading, it's also writing, but for the most part, this channel is going to be mostly about what I read. Second question is, what are some unique things you can bring to BookTube? Absolutely nothing, as far as I know for now. I mean, I watch a ton of booktubers. I actually have a little list I made here of all, just a few of my favorite YouTubers. And, you know, I watch a ton of them and they're fantastic. And the way that they express to you how they like their books, what they like about them, what they don't like about them, how they share books from people like me who I'm self-published and debut, and I've never done it before, and a couple of them shared my books. I really love that about them, and I can only hope that that's what I can bring to you. I'm going to try my best to do that. I'm also going to try to, you know, give my videos a little bit of personality. You know, I'm a little on the old side, which maybe that's what's unique about me. I'm 63 and I'm going to be 64 in like 3 months. So a little scary, but it is what it is. What am I most excited for? Which is the next question. It just to share, you know. It's not like I can make a ton of videos. I can basically only commit to one a week. And that's maybe pushing it when I'm really busy, which right now is kind of a busy period going into Christmas with my other work. But I love the idea of that. So just that I can kind of just say, look at what I bought, look at what I read, look at what's coming up, have some fun games on choosing my new TBRs and so on, and all that lingo that goes along with BookTube, which I love. Even discussing some things that I find that are maybe not necessarily direct book related, but are things that I come across that I think are really a lot of fun. So that's what I plan to do. I'm hoping to do a few shorts along with, you know, long content. So just kind of balance it a little bit. That's a little bit difficult for me because I hate making shorts. I don't know what it is about me. I don't like being in front of the camera, so that is also a challenge for me. But I'm excited to be able to do this. And it says, what do you love about reading? That's the next question. And that one is a tough question because I'm not one of these people that I read a book and I get so overtaken with the characters or anything. But I just love being able to pick up that book and feel like from the beginning to the end, it was an enjoyable story. And that's what I love about it. And I love the fact that it's all imagination, you know. It just astounds me what people come up with and what they write. Because it's just, some of it is just so unique and different. And that's what I love about it. And I love that I don't always read the back of the book. Like, if it's an author that I know really well, then I won't bother. I just pick up the next one, start reading it. If it was good, great. Most of the time, if it's an author that I know really well, it's probably in the middle of the road, but I still got some sort of form of about it. So that's what I love about reading. It's just one of those things that you just never know what you're going to get. It's always a mixed bag, and that to me is just a lot of fun. What book and series got you into reading? Now, that's an interesting question because not long ago, maybe a month ago, somebody asked this question on X. And I sat there and I thought, what was the first book or series I ever read? And it was Nancy Drew. I loved Nancy Drew. I don't know how many Nancy Drew mysteries I've read. Had to be 20 or 30 for sure. And I was probably about 12 when I really got into reading and, getting into novels. And that was where I started. I think my mom gave me a Nancy Drew book back then. It just impacted me a lot. And I did read the Hardy Boys as well. I really enjoyed that too. But it was the Nancy Drew mysteries that drew me in and kept me there. Even, when you got into high school, you had to read all those weird books. At least I thought they were weird then. Now I have a completely different opinion on those. But yeah, so that's kind of what it was. And, even thinking back, it's like I'd like to go back and maybe read some of the Nancy Drews. I graduated from Nancy Drew to Agatha Christie. So that was a step forward for me. But it was always kind of that mystery genre, which I still love today. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Oh my God. I have no idea. What would I ask my favorite booktubers? I think the one thing that I enjoy the most when I watch my booktubers, the ones that I like the most, is what's the book that was the hardest to review? So was it the one you hated the most? Was it the one you liked the most? Or was it the one that was kind of in the middle and you didn't know where to put it? It's because I have that. It's like, how do I review this and review it? And where does it sit in my mind? Because that's really what it is. It's just my opinion on a book. And that's always something that I always wonder is, what is the thing they find the hardest about what they review? Because some of these booktubers that I follow strictly read more or less one thing. And yeah, so that's always an interesting thing. It says, what are the challenges with starting your channel do you think will be the hardest to overcome? The hardest for me, 100%, is actually getting in front of the camera and talking to you. I'm having a hard, to me, that's difficult to do. And I don't know if it's because I hate the way I look on camera. Just to give you a little background, my background is in photography. I was a photographer for 25 years and loved being behind the camera, hate being in front of it. That's the biggest challenge. I can't even say enough how much of a challenge that is for me. Yeah, that's a little rough. So I can't. There's no other answer to that one. When did you start reading? Well, I think I already answered that because I said I was about 12 years old when I started reading, and I'm 64 now. So I've had 50 plus years of reading, which is a long time. Where do you read? 90% of the time, sitting up in bed. I'll have maybe my laptop in front of me. I have a book. I read on my Kindle, which is, I don't read on a Kindle. I read on an iPad, but I read the Kindle app on there. I have, various different things, and it's always in bed, and I tend to read a little more as it gets later in the evening. I just read, because what reading does helps me sleep. It just helps me really just relax, forget about how the day went. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it you know? And reading just sort of filters all of that out and helps me sleep at night. So that's the place I read 95% of the time. The other 5%, I might be out and about and always have my phone with me, and I read on my Kindle app that way. What kind of books do you read? That's actually the last question. And I think I've stated in some of my other videos. So I read romance is probably my first pick, and my preference in romance is suspense romance. I will read little dark, little cozy, but my preference is suspense romance. Then next up would be science fiction, and I am good with science fiction that crosses over a little bit into fantasy, with, of course, a bit of romance in there too. I don't mind that. And then I do read fantasy. I like both sort of your epic fantasy and your romantic fantasy. So I kind of will go both ways. I also do like the odd nonfiction every now and again. In my TBR jars, I will always throw one of those in because I always have some on hand that I've bought that I know I want to read. So I have a little bit of that, and I do like a touch of that. And I mean, honestly, I don't think there's anything I won't read. I just know that I have some hard limits on, like dark romance. There are just some that I won't read, and those are my own limits. But I don't really stop myself from trying anything, because I believe that sometimes you'll be surprised and you'll find something that you really, really like. YA is probably a good example. Don't read a ton of that, but I do like some. So that's that. So that's it for the questions. Now, I did want to say that there are some YouTubers that I do want to mention, and these are the YouTubers that come to mind that I watch a lot for all different reasons. So the first one is Larry Reed's. Larissa is probably one of the funniest people I've ever watched on YouTube. And, for the most part, most of her stuff falls in the romantasy category. What she reads, she'll read a lot of dark romance when her mother sets up her TBRs, which is usually pretty comical. I watch pretty much all of her videos. There's only the odd one that I might not watch, like she did one recently that was about audiobooks. I don't do audiobooks because I just can't absorb anything in a story when I do an audiobook. So, I would have skipped that one, but for the most part, I watch all of hers. The other one is Talking Story, which is John Minton, and he talks about a lot of epic fantasy, a little bit of sci-fi in there. I love his videos. He's always with his son Jacob on there. John's on a tiny bit on the older side. I would not hazard to guess how old he is, but Jacob's, I believe, in his 20s. So, he's up there. And then, of course, his wife will get in on some of the videos too. So, always enjoyed that. Then we've got Mike's book reviews. Mike is a lot like John, and he has great reviews on his books. He will do thrillers, fantasy, usually like a little bit more epic fantasy, and a little bit of sci-fi. I love watching his reviews. And again, and he does have another channel, I believe, and he does TV and movies, and does that one with his wife, I think. So I haven't seen any of those, but he has mentioned them. Then there's Library of a Viking, which is Johan. He's a charming young man, and I really enjoy watching him. Most of what he reads is fantasy. And then we've got Covers with Cassidy. She's a fellow Canadian like me. I think she lives in the same general area I do, which is Southern Ontario. So I do like to watch a lot of her videos. She bounces around between romance and fantasy. But I think she does some thrillers, some mystery, that kind of thing. So she's always fun to watch. Then there's Ava's romance books. Ava is 100% romantic, but she tends to break them down and into separate categories. So it's always fun to watch her videos as well. And then there's Oh Hey, It's Michelle. She's a romance reader and a writer. And so I love watching her videos because sometimes she'll have a blend of the two. And, you know, I am also both. And then there's the Book Refuge, which is probably another one of my favorites, along with Larry Reed's, that I watch a lot. Jen is, she's a prolific romance reader, but she will sometimes stray beyond that. And she reads everything from cozy romance to dark romance. I just find that when I watch her videos, she's very in-depth with her videos. So I don't think there's a video of hers that I've watched that I've hated at all. I mean, you know, sometimes she does cover subjects just like Larry does that are not of interest to me, which is fine. You know, I think everybody is like that. So, you know, but I can't recommend her enough. And I'm going to list all these people down below for you because I would love it if you checked out. And then I've made a new BookTube friend. Her name is Amanda. It is Amanda's Booktopia. She's a super sweet lady, and her and I have commented back and forth, and I've liked her channel. Really, she's, again, just a very small growing channel. I think she just hit 500 subscriptions, so, you know, check her out too. She will also be listed below. And that's really it, you know, nice, short, and sweet. Hopefully that answered all the questions. You know, if you've got any other questions for me, let me know. Of course, I'm new to this. Taking a chance to just have some fun, really, is what this is all about. Drink my coffee, eat my cookies, read my books. And that's what the channel's about. Would love it so much if you could like and subscribe, or even comment. You know, every comment, every like boosts the channel a little bit and gets me a little bit more exposure, and I would really, really love that. So thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you next time around.